Okay, so here we have Alan, who's been working with us for the last 3 months, and we're just going to go into his starting point where he was before he started working with us, and the transformations that he started to see and feel throughout the journey working with us, and then where he's ended up basically. So, Alan, can you just go into just really kind of where you were, as I said, before you started working with us? Not just as a body compositional front, obviously that's important to anybody in terms of fat loss and their body composition, but also where you were feeling just with health-wise, well-being before you started working with us, mate.
Yeah, so I was kind of feeling a bit like I had run out of ideas. I'd been doing a little bit of work myself at the gym, but I wasn't seeing any results really at all, and I've been kind of working on my own for about 3 to 4 months, maybe even a little bit longer, and I really wasn't seeing any progress, and it was beginning to become a bit demotivating. I was also very stressed with work, and COVID-19 didn't help, and my sleep patterns were all over the place. And I thought that I had a pretty good diet until I started working with you, John.
Yeah.
Some of the more educational side of nutrition that you did with me over the early sessions really sort of helped me focus on the fact that my diet wasn't as good as I thought it was, and I think that was certainly holding me back as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I mean, yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's only when you start really kind of delving into things such as nutrition, you actually see like what really is going on. And that's really important, because I think most people just have an idea, but don't necessarily truly know what's going in on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
Cool. And what kind of changes in the early stages do you think were kind of beneficial to you in all aspects, like nutritional, kind of like the changes to habits? What really kind of started to kind of help you move forwards?
I think the two things that really helped me to move forward were, first of all, we're putting a proper structure on the week. I think that really helped, because it helped me to stay accountable as well. So what was happening previously was I was probably doing the 2 to 3 gym sessions, but then I was just eating and drinking, basically all weekend. So it was never sort of improving or helping, and putting sort of a predefined structure on the week and what different days of the week would look like, which we did in the first couple of weeks, was a major step forward. And I also felt that like increasing my level of sleep certainly helped with the amount of energy levels that I had to work harder and train harder in the gym. So I went up from probably 5.5 hours of sleep a night to sort of probably on average about 7.5 hours during the week now, which is big difference, and it has given me huge amount more energy.
Yeah, sure. I suppose that's one thing that most people don't think about. They think about going to the gym, cutting out snacks, particular foods, lowering calories, but they don't necessarily think about how I'm going to generate more energy, from sleep and that kind of thing. So kind of a big missing link, I suppose, for you and for many other people that find themselves in the same predicament.
Yeah. But I think it's the structure really worked, because even though we set a structure in place, it was a structure that allowed for a degree of flexibility. So sort of as long as you had the what you wanted covered throughout the course of the week, you were able to sort of a little bit as well. But knowing that you had to be there 3 times, knowing that you were going to be accountable to you and to myself in the weekly call, I just think that structure really helps, particularly in the beginning.
Yeah. And let's not forget, you're doing this with a young family as well. So you're busy at work, you've got a family. So we need to find that balance, don't we, in that structure that's going to fit in to that already busy lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. And then kind of like, what kind of big breakthroughs did you start to see in terms of your body composition, fat loss, that kind of thing?
Well, sort of the biggest breakthrough I sort of seen in how in the body composition was chest, shoulders, and arms from just so much more muscular, losing the fat
Yeah.
around them, and becoming quite well toned and defined in that area as well. I sort of I drank quite a bit for 18, 20 years. So sort of the area that was slowest to shift was definitely around the midriff. But in the last month or 6 weeks in particular, that like a beer gut that's been literally there since I was 18 I've done to trim down as well, and that's been a real confidence boost. So I think the trimming of the waistline and the bigger muscle definition in my upper body would be the noticeable compositional changes. I've also dropped a jean size, which is a 32, which is again first time in many years. And I was actually probably closer to a 35 than I would have been at 34. So it's and a half really. This has meant getting quite a new wardrobe, but I suppose that's a trade-off that I'm certainly willing to have.
Yeah, you have to go out, and you got an excuse to go out and buy some new clothes then, mate.
Yeah, and in terms of scale weight as well, it's I'm not great with numbers and I don't have them written down in front of me, but we're talking about starting at around 176, 177 pounds, and now I'm down at 166. A small plateau in the middle, and then we had a refocus and a further push sort of at the end of November and up until this point, and that's really helped. It's kick-started again, and at 166 I'm happy, but I still think there's definitely, now that I have the tools in place, there's definitely the potential to do a bit more and to continue with the transformation.
Well, that's the big one for me here. Like the progress that you've made is substantial, but also it's the breakthrough really is that the knowledge that you've gained and the structure that you know that is pliable and you can move that around to fit, you know, if you really want to push on or if you want to just hold back slightly and get a bit more balance to things when you know you might be busy at work or doing things with the family. You have that understanding now. You've learned that understanding of how to manipulate that so you can continue to progress, you know, into the new year, which for me as a coach is like, that's the priceless bit, because, you know, it's all well and good me giving you the tools, but then for you to then go and apply them yourself is a massive breakthrough.
I think as well, one of the things that I sort of didn't realize at the start of of working with you was actually when you put a proper program in place, how enjoyable the gym work actually became, and it was something I actively looked forward to doing. It wasn't just a chore, something to do. It was like, it was a highlight of the day, a highlight of the week. Okay, great. I have a shit day, but I'm training tonight, and it's gonna really look forward to that. And that's something that I didn't think would necessarily happen.
And I think that comes from having a clear focus, like of where you want to be, where you want to get to, but also like having an understanding of like why you're doing specific things, having that focus of why that matters. So when as you know now, going into the gym, you have a very clear outcome of what you want to achieve from every exercise that you're doing. You've recorded your numbers. It's like, can I beat them? You know, even by a single rep. And then that builds motivation, doesn't it? Going into the gym, it's like, well, I've got my numbers here. I'm going in with some sort of drive and some clarity to go, well, I need to beat that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think a lot of people go into the gym going through the motions almost, like, well, I'm going to do this exercise and I'm going to do this exercise, and no real clear progression involved in that.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly where I was before I started with you as well, going to the gym, spending 5 minutes walking around, looking at the machine, trying to figure out what I want to do, and having no real sort of plan or focus, having the plan. And as you said, the incremental gains week on week has really made it very enjoyable.
Yeah, good. And I suppose you can apply that to nutrition, you can apply that to the lifestyle changes. It's like every
Definitely.
week we're checking in, aren't we? And then going, okay,
Yeah.
what can we tweak? What can we just slightly make a little bit better? So you're kind of
Yeah.
applying the ideas that you're doing in the gym to the other facets that we're trying to improve as well. Um,
Certainly. Yeah.
so cool. So yeah, I mean, it's really nice that you dropped a gene size, body composition's changed, but also health and well-being is in a completely different place as well. Which
Oh,
is, and
definitely.
it's, I suppose, would it be fair to say it's had a positive impact on the rest of the family as well?
Oh, for sure. You wouldn't believe, like, it's the additional energy levels. It's coming home from work and not and watch TV for half an hour. It's coming in,
Yeah,
either being ready to go out and play and have a run around the garden. It's made a
yeah,
huge difference. And it's just the lifestyle changes as well, because you're doing so well and also being held accountable. It meant I didn't want to spend every weekend going out, do you know what I mean, on the last show, or spend the whole weekend in my laptop because I had to catch up with stuff at work. It actually meant that I was, as a family, we were out on the walking,
yeah,
um, getting up earlier in the morning at the weekend because you're not wrecked from the
yeah.
previous night. It's been a whole sort of, yeah, a well-being change. It's just made me feel an awful lot better about myself, and had a huge impact on our family life.
Brilliant. That's fantastic, Alan. Fantastic. I mean, last one I was going to ask is we get a lot of people kind of sitting on the fence, kind of not sure if it's for them, kind of questioning if they should be fitter to start. We get that quite a lot. People thinking that they need to be going to the gym, or they need to be fitter or healthier before they can even start this. What would you kind of say to anyone that's thinking of starting with the Strong Life Club, but has reservations or may think that they're not ready yet?
I think, I think you always have to start somewhere. So regardless of your base level of fitness, I think the support structure that the Strong Life Club puts in place allows for anybody at any level of fitness to get started. I think in order to start, you need to want to change for sure. But I think, just start, just do it, because, like, at our first conversation, John, we had a conversation on Thursday, and I was start the following Sunday, which is our Monday, and I said no, we have to start the conversation Thursday. I'll start Friday, because the sooner that you get the sooner they get the process started, the sooner you begin to see results, and the sooner you start feeling better about yourself. I think that's the secret to it. That once you think that you need a change, you probably do need that change, and don't procrastinate. Just go for it, because the support network is there, and it's been excellent.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks, Alan. Really appreciate that, and chuffed to bits with the progress you've made, and can't wait to see some more progress that you're going to make in the new year. So wicked.
Yeah, definitely,
Cheers, buddy.
definitely.
Thank you.
Cheers, John.